Hope you stay with me on my journey to become more fluent in English. This is the start of the IELTS speaking test. Are you ready?
Yes.
What is your name?
Sanjita Kabir.
What can I call you?
You can call me Sanjita.
Alright, Sanjita, where do you live right now?
Currently, I'm living in Louisiana, Lafayette. And to be specific, I'm living in River Oaks. It's beside the river. That's why maybe the name is River Oaks. And it's also beside the main road. There's a main road, Johnston Street. So I'm living beside that street.
Alright, so have you always lived here?
No. We recently shifted to this country in the USA. Before that, we used to live in Bangladesh. Basically, I'm Bangladeshi. I'm a Bangladeshi, and my husband also a Bangladeshi. My nationality is a Bangladeshi, but we came here for a study purpose.
Okay, so if you compare your hometown to here in the US, what would you say?
There's a lot to compare. First of all, the cultural shock. We are actually Muslim, and here the main religion is Christianity. And actually, you will not see a lot of people here wearing hijab and other things. And back in Bangladesh, out of 10 people, 5 people are wearing hijab. Beside that, so in the road you will see that people are greeting you, and sometimes you will feel shocked that is it okay? Because in Bangladesh people don't care, they don't greet you, and sometimes you will feel silly if you greet someone. They don't do that. So yeah, those things I found. There are other things
on the
also.
whole, are you liking your visit here, or do you sometimes miss home?
That's an interesting question. But to answer your question, I will say that sometimes we do miss, but normally we don't. We are actually liking it here because, yeah, we want to socialize. Like by born, I was introvert, but gradually I was becoming extrovert, and I like to talk to people. I like to know them. I like to be with different kinds of people, learn new things. And I'm in the English department, and specifically in linguistics, so I want to explore the language that people are using here, and linguistically, like what is linguistics? Linguistics is the scientific way of like exploring that language. So it's helping me here.
Let's talk about clothes. How important are clothes to you?
Just now I talked about hijab. Obviously hijab is important to me, and it's part of my clothing, it's part of who I am, it's part of my the other day I was talking about this with my husband. My husband was asking me what is the symbol of hijab, and I know that the symbol of hijab is like I am Muslim. It is my symbol, it is my sign, it is who I am, it is my identity. Yeah, it's so many things. Hijab is a part of me. It's like organ to me. Without hijab I cannot live. So of course.
So what types of clothes do you prefer the most?
I like comfortable clothes. In the past, I used to like fitting clothes that will make my nauzubillah, but that will make my body look attractive. But when I got matured, I learned that no, it's not a good way to show off your body, and you have to wear loose clothes. In Islam, they don't support that. And I'm a practicing Muslim, so I am learning to wear loose clothes, and beside gradually I'm liking to wear loose fitting clothes, and it also gives you mental peace, that you feel comfortable and you feel good in your body.
So do you prefer traditional clothes or, let's say, Western clothes?
That's an interesting question. I didn't think of that much. I didn't give it that thought, that a deep thought. It both seems good to me. I like traditional clothes. I like to wear sari. I like to wear salwar kameez. And when it comes to wear Western clothes, like I'm wearing t-shirt now, I also like to wear t-shirt. But yeah, oversized t-shirt with a loose fitting, with a loose jeans. Yeah, I like them. I like to wear them. So yeah, I will not go to one side. I'm stepping my foot on both side of the on two boats at the same time.
Right, right. So has your preference for clothes changed over the years?
Yeah, like I said before, when I was very young, I used to wear tight-fitting clothes to make myself attractive, but not now, not anymore. I like to wear comfortable clothes. By comfortable, I'm saying loose clothes, and I feel comfortable. And I saw that's a trend now to wear loose clothes. It's not only me, but others also, like they are also liking it.
That is the end of your part 1. So let us discuss how Sanjida's part 1 went. So I'm turning to you, Sanjida. Are you satisfied with your part 1?
I think I could do better, but this is my first time here, and I'm camera shy. I'm not very good when somebody is watching me. I feel like that, and I get that a lot. When I feel like somebody is watching me, I cannot perform well.
Right.
But while presenting in front of others, I just shut myself. I think that nobody is watching me. Then I can present.
So you
well.
pretend that nobody is watching you.
No.
But actually, by thousands of subscribers, they may be
Yeah,
watching
that's
you.
why I think my performance was not that
I see.
good.
No, I can relate. As an introvert myself, I can relate. Let's talk about the questions. Did the questions actually catch you by surprise?
No, I actually liked your questions. They were very thoughtful. I liked them. They were not very usual questions like they asked in Cambridge. You will see the usual Cambridge question they will ask about you and.
But I kept the pattern same. You know, I
kept
didn't.
the pattern same, yeah. But I was getting to that point.
Right.
You kept the pattern same, but you asked some philosophical questions. I liked that part because in my last IELTS speaking test, they asked something like that. It's the trend is like that now, but I think that because of their expectations, they don't ask normal those.
Like where do you live?
In Bangla, the God Badha question they don't ask anymore.
Yeah, of course.
But I think it depends on the candidate also. If they see that you have the potential, then they ask you challenging questions.
So do not get very much like afraid of these guys. It's not like you will get very challenging questions from the beginning. My questions were also not challenging, but as I gave you follow-up questions, then I stepped up the difficulty level a little bit.
But it's good. No, you should be happy if you were getting challenging questions.
Yeah,
you
that's
should
a sign.
You should be happy, and it's a sign that you will get a good score.
Right. So if you didn't know, it's an FAQ question. Like if you get a little bit difficult questions or very very difficult questions, actually you as the candidate, you are expected by the examiner to get 7+. If it's less than 7, then the questions will be relatively easy.
And before you say something, I just want to say, like normally my part 1 doesn't go well, and it's also based on part 1. Part 1 is like ice-breaking session.
Yes,
you are breaking, and you are breaking out of your shell.
Yes.
You are introducing yourself, and you are gradually being comfortable with the examiner. And my part 2 and part 3, I think I perform better than part 1.
Yeah, it could also be an important point.
Like now, my fluency is good.
Yes. I can relate, guys. Like I make YouTube videos. In the beginning, my fluency suffers a little bit. I'm a little less confident, but as I keep speaking, maybe 1 or 2 minutes later, my fluency and my confidence level. So anyway, there are 4 IELTS band descriptors of the speaking test: fluency and coherence, grammatical range and accuracy, lexical resource, and the other one is what? Pronunciation. Right. Let's start with the last one, pronunciation. I think that your pronunciation was very clear. I think every single word that you said, it was very much understandable. It was not native-like. Even my pronunciation is not 100% native-like, but it is understandable, and your intonation was also, I think, up to the standard. I think you can get an 8 here in pronunciation.
Okay.
Yes. So even there is a chance for a 9, but to be, let's say, to be judicious with my mark, to not be to not give you as much as you can, let's say, to keep it wise in the middle, I'm giving you 8 in pronunciation.
Okay.
Let's go to your grammatical range and accuracy, Sanjida. I think you realized you made some mistakes in grammar, right? Do you remember them?
No, I don't remember, but I know I make some mistakes while speaking, but I don't give attention to my mistakes, because if you give attention to your mistakes, your fluency will be disrupted, so you should not focus on that.
I have published a research article, and Sanjida has also, regarding fluency. So if you are thinking too much of your grammar, that okay, you need to make your grammar perfect, then your fluency will suffer. So if you compare grammar and fluency, your fluency is more important, because 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 grammar mistakes, they will not make your score very low. So for you, you had some grammar mistakes, but I think your grammatical range was really good. I would give you a 7 here in grammatical range and accuracy.
Wow, thank you.
Some
Coming
small
from
mistakes.
you, he's a maniac of grammar. Grammar maniac.
So for example, you made some singular plural mistakes.
Okay.
You made some 1 or 2 tense mistakes. I do not exactly remember right now, but I was paying attention. Alright, coming to lexical resource. Are you satisfied with your vocabulary?
I think I could do better, but still, I try to develop myself every day, and yeah, today I think I could do better, but still I'm satisfied.
So I'm actually in the middle here. I'm not sure if your vocabulary was great.
No, it's not great. I'm not saying that.
No, it is actually great. But in part 1, this part 1, I'm not sure if it was great, but it was good enough.
Okay.
I would give you 7 here, but maybe you can get an 8. Like for example, let's talk about some of the questions. One question was regarding where you live, right? You could talk, you don't need to bring in vocabulary items like abode or my residence. You don't need to bring them up, but if you can, it's a plus point, right?
I know. I think then you can show off your vocabulary in part 2 and 3. I don't actually emphasize in part 1. I don't show off that much in part 1. I think in part 2 you have specific question, and according to that question or based on that question you can note down some vocabulary, and also it can be in your mind. Then you can use that.
Yes, I agree with you, but I will give you a counterpoint as well.
Okay.
In part 1, the topics, they are quite common, right? You said that some of the topics were not common for you, but we all know you're going to get at least one question about your name, about your hometown, or maybe where do you live, do you work or do you study. So you should have some vocabulary items in mind. For example, residence. For example, you can say I hail from, instead of
I was using the word comfortable now. Again and again I could use some synonyms of comfortable.
Right.
Like
convenient, or you can say even comfy.
Comfy clothes,
It's a semi-formal test, guys.
And
it's
also like I could wear dress, and also clothing,
clothing,
yes,
garb.
I could use those.
Dressing myself up, dolling myself, accentuating my physique or something. Alright, finally let's go to
like
fluency and
also,
coherence.
you like that word, donning.
Yes, fluency and coherence. I would actually give you a very high mark in fluency, and in coherence I was a little bit wary of your mark in coherence, because sometimes it felt like you were giving a little bit of a big preface. What is a preface, guys? It's preface, right?
Background information.
Yes, before answering the question, she was talking about the explanation.
Even my student, like I give my students the tips that you should not give the preface or background information, but I myself do that because I'm a teacher, and being a teacher you have to give a lot of background information before introducing any topic. That's why it's my habit. I know I shouldn't do that, but still I do.
Like if I ask you where do you live, you should directly say I live in here and it's a good place, it's a wonderful place. Like you should go directly into the answer in part 1. In part 2 and 3, of course, you can take your time. But it was overall fine. I can give you 8 here.
Okay.
So
2 8 and 2 7.
8 7 8 7. So you get 7.5. Congratulations, Sanjida.
No. I wanted to get an 8.
But to get an 8, you need at least 8 in all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Okay guys, thank you. Hope you enjoyed, and hope you stay with me and her. Hope you stay with us on our journey to become more fluent in English.
And also comment that if you want a full video on
Full,
IELTS
like part
speaking.
1, part 2, part 3.
Yeah.